It's that time of year again where you get that phone call or text and someone is having a barbecue and they want you to come, but you have to bring a dish to share. Welcome back to my channel, friends. My name is Angel, and today I have some ideas for you that are always a crowd favorite at a potluck. I'm gonna make an Italian pasta salad. You can use any kind of pasta, and I've always liked using spaghetti noodles, so this is what I'm going to use today. Fill a large saucepan with about 2/3 of the way with water, so about up to there. Turn your heat to high and bring it to a rolling boil. All right, it's at a rolling boil, so I'm gonna salt the water, and then I'm going to add my pasta. I'm just going to make a small batch of the salad, so I'm just going to use a little bit of pasta. Stir it, turn your heat down to a medium, and let it kind of simmer for, we're going to go al dente. That's going to be 8 minutes with the spaghetti noodles. Stir occasionally to make sure that the noodles are not sticking to the bottom of the pan. After 8 minutes, I would test one noodle, break off a little piece, try it. There's a little bit of a bite to the noodle. They're not really soft, but they're not crunchy, but they're still slightly firm. I'm going to drain these, and then we're going to put these in some ice water. Put some ice in a large bowl, and then add some cold water. Put the drained pasta into the ice water and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. It's been 2 minutes, so now I'm going to drain it. All right, my noodles have drained. I'm going to dump them in a large mixing bowl. Since I'm making just a small batch, this is enough for probably 3 or 4 servings. I diced up 1/8 of a cup of different vegetables that I have. There's 1/8 of a cup of cucumbers, just multicolored peppers. Just put whatever you like in here. Carrots, you could do black olives. I didn't have any, so tomatoes. I had some string cheese and some pepperoni. Dice that up too. For the dressing, I'm going to use this house Italian dressing. You can use any kind of Italian dressing. And then it's fine like that, but if you happen to have some salad supreme, you can add that to it as well. And I'm just going to mix those 2 ingredients up in this bowl. Again, this is just a small batch. So I have 1/4 of a cup of Italian dressing, and then I'm going to do 1 1/8 teaspoon. If I did the math right, that should be the right amount of the seasoning. And then whisk it together. We're going to pour this on top. Scrape your bowl really good, and then mix it together. You could use a pasta server, or if you have a pair of tongs, I'll try the tongs. That'll probably look easier. And just grab and kind of twist. Mix it up. If you need a little bit more Italian dressing, go ahead and add that. You don't want to do too much because you don't want everything swimming in the dressing. I'm just going to add a splash more of the Italian dressing, like that. And I think this will be good. Scrape the sides to make it look all pretty. You can always take a paper towel and wipe around the edge just to get all that dressing off of there. And there you go. It's ready to serve. There's your Italian pasta salad. Next, I'm going to make vegetable dip. I need 1 1/2 cups of sour cream, and I have a 3/4 cup right here. And 2 of these is 1 1/2 cups. So I'm just going to do 2 of these. Next, I need 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon minced onion, 1 teaspoon dill weed, 1 teaspoon garlic salt. I like to add parsley just for color. I just sprinkle until I think it looks good. 1/4 teaspoon Worcestershire sauce. I know that's how you pronounce it. My brain always wants to say it with this funny accent and call it Worcestershire sauce, but that's not actually what it's called. It's Worcestershire sauce. Stir until everything is combined. Scrape the bottom of the bowl to make sure that you are getting everything mixed in. This is optional, but if you'd like an extra half of a teaspoon of dill weed at this point, you can add that in and stir that well. If you feel like it needs a little bit more color, you can always add some dried parsley flakes. I'm going to do a veggie tray, so I'm going to peel some carrots, and then I washed them. I'm going to cut the ends off, and then peel them. You can also buy pre-washed vegetables. They're in a bag, you just open up the bag, put them on a tray or a container, and take that with you. You can buy a veggie tray, all your vegetables are washed and cut, and it comes with a dip. That's simple enough. Apparently I like to do things the hard way, or cheaper way actually, and make my own dip and cut my own vegetables. I got my carrots peeled, and then I just rinsed them off and cut them however big you wish. They don't have to be real small. These are fine. And then you can put them in a container like this. Just put all your vegetables in here just to bring them to the barbecue. And then if you want to put them on a tray, you can later. That's fine. Let me get these cut up. Now I'm going to cut up a cucumber. It's been washed and I've used it already. For storing your cucumber in your fridge, after you've cut it, if you wrap it up in aluminum foil, it'll keep it fresher longer. All right, this end piece is a little bit dry. I'm just gonna cut that off, just a thin piece. Then just cut that. You can obviously just use a knife. And now I'm gonna do peppers. Cut off the ends, wash them first, and then I'm gonna do it this way. These little peppers are easy to get the seeds out, which is nice. You can just grab it, pull it, slice these. Then you can just put a lid on it, and you can just serve it like this, and then just bring a little dish with your dip, or you can make it a little fancier and bring a little platter with you, and then just arrange it when you get there. And there's your veggies and dip. I'm gonna make some chocolate chip bars, and you make them in a 9x13 pan, which is just a regular cake pan. I am actually gonna double this because I know a bunch of young adults that will enjoy these. I'm gonna make these for them. I need 1.5 cups of butter melted. So I'm just gonna pop this in the microwave and melt it and let that cool a little bit while I mix up the rest of the batter. All right, I have 4 cups of flour in there, and I need 4 more tablespoons. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then mix it together. I'm gonna set this aside. My butter looks like this. It's not completely melted. There's still a little piece. It's fine. It just says to let it sit to room temperature. I guarantee you it will not be at room temperature when I use it, but that's okay. We'll be all right. I'm just gonna stir this up and set this aside, and I wanted to show you a random tip today. Your butter wrappers, they do have a little bit of butter on them. You can save these and reuse them to grease your pans. You've probably seen me do that in other videos if you watch the other videos. Otherwise, if you don't use it right away, you fold it up, put it in a quart bag, and then put it in the freezer. And then anytime you need to grease something, I grab 2 or 3 of them, just because sometimes there isn't a lot of butter. It might not be enough to grease the pan that you want. So I take about 3 of them out, put them in the microwave for about 20 seconds, let them melt just a little bit, and then grease my pan. And if I don't use it, I just put it back in the freezer, it's fine. Next, I need brown sugar. I have to remember, I'm doubling this, so I'm gonna need 2 cups of brown sugar. Couple of things on brown sugar. If it's hard, put a slice of bread in there and it will soften it up. Might take it a little bit, but it'll soften it right up. There's light brown sugar and dark brown sugar. And brown sugar just has molasses in it, so the dark just has a little bit more molasses. Either one is fine. They'll both work. And then packed brown sugar, you want to push it down really good. And most recipes call for packed brown sugar. So I'm going to dump it in my bowl. 2 cups. 1 cup of regular sugar. This is a 1/2 cup scoop, so 2 scoops of that. I need 2 whole eggs and then 2 yolks. So I'm going to put the 2 whole eggs in this bowl. Push in and pull. All right, I'm going to tap, push in and pull if it wants to pull, and then try to keep just the yolk in the shell. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth. I think I got it all. There's a little bit of white on there. It's okay. Just in time because that one broke. You can put this in the fridge, and if you add 1 more egg to this, so there's 2 egg whites and then a whole egg to it, that will make a 2-egg omelet. Or you can scramble it and make scrambled eggs. All right, I have white sugar and brown sugar in here, and then I'm going to pour in the melted butter. It's cooled down a little bit. It's not room temperature, but it's fine. And mix it up. And then we're going to add the 2 whole eggs and mix that. And then slowly add in the yolk. And then 4 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the flour mix. And then mix that up and then add a little more, just a little at a time. All right, and I'm going to scrape the sides on the bottom. Gonna make sure we get all the flour mixed in. Looks good, looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna mix it just a little bit longer, and then we'll add in the chocolate chips. All right, you don't wanna over mix this, but this looks really good. I'm actually gonna split this in 2. All right, I have half of the dough in this bowl, and this one I'm gonna add butterscotch chips to. We'll start with 1/2 cup. So we're just gonna mix it in. And I'm going to add, all right, I've got about 1/2 cup more, and stir that in. Oh, this is really, all right, work on those muscles today. All right, that's probably good. All right, and this one I'm going to add chocolate chips. And even this is too flimsy for this dough. So I'm just going to use a slotted spoon and add 1/2 cup, stir it, and then I'll add 1/2 cup more. I have this large baking sheet. It's 1/2 of a sheet cake, and I'm going to grease it. If you do not have a big pan like this, do 9 by 13 pans will work. I'm just going to grease it with my leftover butter on my wrappers here. And I'm going to grease the sides too. Now comes the tricky part. I'm going to put chocolate chip dough on 1/2 and then butterscotch on the other. The butterscotch one. Oh, it's so heavy. Now's the fun part. We gotta spread it out a little bit. I'm just going to use the butter wrapper if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll just grab some parchment paper. Wash your hands. Always wash your hands before you start doing any kind of cooking, baking. Number 1 rule. Don't be gross. Wash your hands. Go watch my video if you don't know what I'm talking about. My video on rules of the kitchen. All right, we're going to spread this out. Get that one spread out on that half. Do you prefer chocolate chip or butterscotch? How about if you prefer chocolate chip, leave a blue heart emoji. And if you prefer butterscotch, a purple heart emoji. I like both butterscotch and chocolate chip. Do I have a preference? Not really, it just depends on the day, I suppose. They're both equally delicious. All right, that looks really good. And it's going to rise a little bit when it's baking. I'm gonna bake this at 350 degrees, and I'm gonna start with 17 minutes and go from there. I ended up baking this for 21 minutes and still soft, but it's not doughy, so that's good. And then if you have it, not necessary if you do not, but I happen to have some coarse salt, like from pretzels, and I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit on top and do it right away when you take it out of the oven. Wash your hands, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle it. I don't even know if it's gonna stick. There we go. Just a couple of pinches. There we go. Let that cool. Next, I'm gonna make a taco salad. I'm just gonna make a small batch for a quick lunch for a few of us here, but I'm going to talk you through how to make a big batch for a crowd. If you're going to a barbecue and you're bringing this, I would grab a large bowl and cut up 1 head of iceberg lettuce, wash it, chop it up. If you're using romaine lettuce, like this, I would get maybe 3 or 4, and then just cut the end off, wash it really good, chop that up, and put that in a bowl. Add 1 pound of taco meat, and then probably 2 or 3 tomatoes chopped up, and then 2 cups of cheese. What kind do you like? Cheddar? Do you like sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, Colby Jack, Colby, whatever you like. Some people like onion in there. I am not too crazy about it. I would do maybe 1/4 of an onion if that's what you like. And those that don't like it can just pick it out, right? That's what I grew up doing. And mix this up. And then if you have any Doritos, the nacho cheese Doritos, you can do Cool Ranch if you want. Personally, I like the nacho ones the best. You can crush them up and put them in the salad and mix it in, but just a warning, they do get soggy. I don't mind it, but some people do. So what you can do is put some crushed chips in a bowl and just take that with you, and then put a spoon in it, and then people can just add what they want. You would need more than this because this is just a little bit for the salad, but you can crush them up. You don't have to make them tiny pieces. They can be about like that size or smaller. It's fine. And then to serve it, you can bring some salsa, some sour cream. Some people just like that. Personally, I grew up having it with Western dressing, which is like the best French dressing ever. That's my favorite way to have it. Just put a little bit on there, but let everybody just kind of take what toppings they like. Black olives, you could have that on the side too. That would be good. And that's your taco salad. And this is always a crowd favorite, and it's actually rare that you have leftovers. So it makes a lot, but people love it. Thanks for joining me today. What are your favorite things to bring to a potluck? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.